and welcome to Ellen Ruth Soap. I'm Ellen, and today I'm not making soap. We're going to make bath bombs. Again, I need to restock, and I'm in the mood for fall bath bombs. So I got this mold from Be Scented. It is a little bit larger donut mold than I normally do. This is a really nice size. So I'll be using this mold today to make donut bath bombs and for the fragrance. Okay, we're doing donuts, so I've got to use my glazed donuts from Be Scented. This smells so good, and it soaps really well too, but it does discolor, and I thought, you know, let's make a bath bomb with it. Doesn't that sound wonderful? So for the color for the glazed donut bath bombs, I'm going to be using this caramel brown butterscotch mica from Wholesale Supplies Plus. Is that scrumptious? Oh my goodness. Yeah, my studio smells edible. I'm just gonna say, don't eat the products. I make nothing edible in the studio, but it smells like it. So anyway, that'll be the color, and I will do a cocoa butter drizzle. And of course, with my bath bombs, I will leave the full recipe in the description box below, so you can hopefully make your own. If you try my recipe, please let me know how you like it. So I'm also going to be making another bath bomb today. I figured, you know, rather than do a video for each one, I'll do a couple today. So we're just bath bombing today in the studio. My next bath bomb, which will also be in the donut mold, I'm going to do pumpkin cheesecake. I did soap with this. I made my pumpkin pie soap with this fragrance. It smells wonderful. It is so good, but it did accelerate a little and it discolored pretty dark. So, you know, I love the fragrance, and I'm going to do a bath bomb with it. I might do some wax melts also, because this fragrance is fantastic. But I wasn't super delighted with the way it behaved making the soap. I love the finished soap, but making it was a challenge. So anyway, different application. That's going to be the next bath bomb that I do. And for the colorant on the cheesecake, I will probably do a little swirl in the bath bomb donut itself with this sunset orange from Be Scented, because I thought that looked a little pumpkin-y and beautiful. And then again, I will do a cocoa butter drizzle on top, because I just want these to look decadent. When you take a bath, I want you to just feel indulged. It's the calorie-free way to indulge. Let's think of it like that. So I'm going to get everything pulled together and get my hair pulled back, sanitize all of my equipment and work surface, and we'll come back and make some really wonderful, edible smelling bath bombs. So it's time to get measuring out all the ingredients for the first batch of bath bombs, which is going to be the glazed donuts. What I have going on off to the side here, I already measured off, is 30 ounces of citric acid, and I'm just setting this off to the side until I get all of my wet ingredients incorporated with the main bulk of it, and then I'll add my citric acid last. Whoops, sorry. Add this last so that we don't activate the nice fizziness. This is what makes your bath bomb fizz. So, well, actually, the reaction of that with the baking soda is what makes the fizz. But anyway, I don't want to activate it. So that goes in last. It's off to the side. Time to get measuring the base ingredients. And so the biggest ingredient in a bath bomb is baking soda. And I get these massive bags here at Costco, Sam's Club, Walmart. That, you know, it's a very inexpensive ingredient, and it's wonderful. And we need 47 ounces. What I'm going to do is measure into my big container, and then I will sift it all into my stainless steel mixing bowl over here, because this is very clumpy. So measuring it into here first, so 47 ounces. All right, 47 ounces of baking soda is in here, and now I need 2 ounces of cream of tartar. And cream of tartar is your caking agent. It'll help make these bombs very hard so that they ship nice and don't crack apart. It's a caking agent, and it works great. So let me tear this out, and I'm going for 2 ounces. Cream of tartar, and now I need 1 ounce of Kaolin Clay. Let's tear that. And Kaolin Clay just feels wonderful in the bath water. It also helps with the caking and the hardening, but it's just, you know, clay is a wonderful skin additive. All right, 1 ounce of kaolin is in there, and now 1 ounce of SLSA, and I got this from Be Scented. They had a really good sale going on. You can get it at several different distributors, but that's where I got this one. And you want your mask on for this. It is a very fine powder, and it will make you cough and sneeze and stuff. You do not want to breathe this, and I will keep my mask on until the wet ingredients are incorporated with this and it is wetted down. So that is just a caution. I would even recommend if you have a mask with a little ventilation mask, that would be a good thing to wear also. So I need 1 ounce of the SLSA. All right, now that we have all of our dry ingredients measured off, I'm going to go ahead and sift these through my little sifter in here and get them nice and powdered, and then we'll move on to the wet ingredient portion. So this is not complicated. I'll just fast forward through this, but I just put it in there and sift it all out because, again, that baking soda is chunky. And this, I hand blend my bath bombs, and this just makes the mixing portion a lot easier to just pre-mix all those chunks out. Time to measure out the wet ingredients. So I'm going to start with 0.7 ounces of oils, and you can do any combination of oils that you like. Today I'm using shea butter and jojoba oil. That's what I'm doing for this bath bomb. You could do walnut oil, cocoa butter, mango butter. You just get creative. But I am going to need to pop this in the microwave and melt my shea butter down. But all that being said, I need 0.7 ounces, so not quite an ounce, just a little shy of an ounce of oils for this volume. All right, I'm gonna go pop that in the microwave. I'll be right back. All right, I need 0.3 ounce of polysorbate 80. Just a teeny bit. And what that does is that is going to help emulsify your oils, your mica, and everything so that you don't get a ring around your tub. It's going to make a nice clean rinse in your bathtub and be an emulsifier between the oils and the water and everything. So just a teeny bit of the poly 80. Now we need 0.8 ounces of Witch Hazel. I like to use Witch Hazel. Oops, backwards. I picked this up at Walmart. It's very inexpensive. You can get it on Amazon. You can use any liquid you want at this point. You could use isopropyl alcohol. You could use water. I like Witch Hazel because I think it feels really good on the skin. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do 0.8, and then I also have a spritzer bottle of Witch Hazel off to the side that if my mixture is a little bit dry, I can spritz on very lightly and just add more in very tiny increments. So 0.8. I'm going to be adding 1 ounce of my fragrance oil for this volume. I think that scents it very nicely. So here is my glazed donuts. Tear this out, and I need 1 ounce of fragrance. I would say, also caution you to run it through your calculator, whatever fragrance you're using. Make sure the volume is okay, skin safe for what you're doing. So just always double check on your fragrances and essential oils. All right, well, there is my fragrance and the liquids and all of that. I'm going to set that off to the side. Here is my spritz bottle of Witch Hazel that I will just keep off to the side. And now I'm trying to decide if I want to add my mica in right now while the dry ingredients are there. I think I will. I'm just going to add a teeny little titch of my mica, and then I can add more later. But when you're working with bath bombs, it takes a lot less mica for bath bomb than it does in a soap. So that's maybe a 1/4 teaspoon. And we'll just blend all this up and see if that's the color range that we want to be at, and if not, you can add a little more. Can never take it out. You can always add more, so I always like to start out cautious and work up from there. All right, here we go. Time to blend in our wet ingredients. And because the citric acid isn't in here, this will feel a little bit wet. But after all the wet ingredients are fully incorporated, we'll add the citric acid in, and then we will do our little squeeze test to see if it's the consistency that we want. All right, I've got everything set up here to get pressing, and I need to give this a squeeze test. So I like to grab a handful of the loose powder and give it a nice squeeze. And if I can bop it around and it holds its shape pretty well, like that, I think we're ready to give it a try. So what I've got is my paper plate on my scale here and teared out with my donut mold. So that I can get these relatively the same size. I want to weigh them as I'm doing it. I have my Bath Bombs Express hand press here that I'll be using to press the bombs, and I'm sorry it doesn't all fit in the screen there. Maybe you can see me pressing there if I have it here. So let's get to weighing these out and see how much. These should be about, I think, probably going to be like a 5-ounce bomb, I'm guessing. Let's weigh it in here and see. Oh, maybe 6 ounces. We'll put 6 on here and see. All right. So just get the top on and kind of hold it down, and then I'm going to poke out the middle stuff just because it makes it a little neater unmolding. You can poke it out after or before, but all right. Here is my Bath Bombs Express mold hand press for the molds. And I just like to turn it a couple times and add the pressure. Saves my wrists. I have, ongoing like carpal tunnel sometimes, and for me this is a lot less stress on my wrists to do it this way. I've really been enjoying my bath bomb press. So let's pull this out and see if it's the weight we want, if it's holding together the way I want, all of that. Oh, it looks good here. So go ahead and press. And it's got a little lip on it. I want to knock that off. There. Oh, beautiful. Perfect bath bomb. Love the little Saturn ring. So I'm going to get to pressing the rest of these. All right, it's the next day. These are the glazed donut bath bombs, and they smell fantastic. I ended up getting about 15. I got 15 5.5 ounce size bombs. That's a nice big bomb. So now it's time to do the cocoa butter glaze. So what I have here is 5 ounces of cocoa butter that I'm going to melt down, and I'm going to add 5 ounces of baking soda to this and whisk it in there and let it cool until it gets to a nice sort of glazy consistency. And then because cocoa butter is nice and hard, when it cools off, the glaze will now be nice and firm. I will also add about 1/2 ounce of polysorbate 80 to this, again, so it will emulsify in the bath water and not make a greasy, slippery tub feel. I want a really nice feel. So I have my little shallow bowl here. After I get my glaze made, I'm going to put some in here because I need something shallow to dip my donuts in and glaze them, because of course these are glazed donuts. Then after I get them all glazed, I will drizzle. I'll put some color in there and drizzle the tops too. So that's what my shallow dish is for. I'm going to go get the cocoa butter melted, and let's get to decorating the tops of these bath bombs. All right, I've got the cocoa butter melted. I've got the baking soda in here, and I did stick blend it because I want it nice and smooth. I'm letting it cool down a little bit. I want it a bit thicker, so just going to let this cool down. So for the glaze portion that I'm going to dip in the bowl, I will be putting a little white champagne mica in there. And then for the drizzle on the top, I'm going to bring back in the caramel brown butterscotch for the drizzle. So those are the micas I'll be using in the cocoa butter drizzle. So I'm just waiting for that to cool, and we'll get moving on. Time to do the bath bomb test, but first let's just take a look at these. I'm so happy. I love the size of these bath bombs. It's a nice big 5-ounce bomb, and the recipe that I used today gave me 15 big heavy 5-ounce bombs, and then enough extra to make this little puck of each kind. So let's do this one. This is the pumpkin cheesecake. We're going to put it in here and give it a test. Let me just tell you, it smells fantastic. It's got a very gentle fizzy. These aren't like crazy aggressive, you know, like sometimes bath bombs sort of explode. I like these. It's just gentle, but it's so smooth. This feels wonderful. I think that these make for a really luxurious, indulgent bath time, and I hope you give the recipe a try. If you do, let me know how you like it.